I don't know how you do that.
Yeah, I just do.
How do you do that? Ooh, Brussels sprouts. This is that thing you do.
You like Brussels sprouts?
Believe it or not, my doctor has got me to like Brussels sprouts.
Christy loves Brussels sprouts.
But that's because she's...
But she grew up in the South, so, like, I understand that. But, like, for me, like, she had me try them at Thanksgiving last year. They are bad. I do not like them at all. They taste gross.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you try them roasted with bacon?
No.
And
bacon, no, because we had a vegetarian Thanksgiving.
Well, try it roasted with bacon and sriracha sauce and...
Sriracha?
Well, like a sriracha... Like, what's it called? BJ's. BJ's has a good Brussels sprouts and menu item.
Okay.
For an appetizer.
Interesting.
It's honey sriracha over grilled Brussels sprouts.
When we went to the fair, we saw Brussels sprouts and how they grow, and it blew Christy's mind.
What?
Yeah, because they're like on the stalk of this plant.
Oh yeah.
It's like a plant, and they grow on the stalk and grow around it, and they just look like little things. You can just pick them off.
Oh, have you ever seen like the? I'm sure you have because we've shot them, but the Piccolo Pete's for fireworks. It's the exact same thing, where it's a stick and then there's balls on each side.
That's all the things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I believe they're Piccolo Pete's.
Good name.
I think that's what they're called. Anyways, we're live. We told people we're live.
Hi.
We're going live, and we're going to start right
everybody.
now here.
Let's start right now.
In 5, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4,
Wow.
4,
I think the countdown's
4,
broken.
4.
Weird how that happens.
Countdown?
Countdown.
It's the final 4, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, I think we're live now.
I think we're live.
I think, therefore, I am live.
It's true. This
Can't.
very existential edition.
Is that can't?
What?
Is that can't?
I can't.
I think, therefore, I am.
I can't deal with this right now. We have to move on.
All right, The Good Place. Check it out.
Hi, it's the Media Boat Podcast, your favorite podcast about existential dilemmas. I mean, about media.
On a boat. Not on a boat.
No, we're not on a boat.
In a boat.
Yes, the Media Boat Podcast. It's your source for news about movies, television, video games, and music. Not necessarily in that order, but some order thereof.
You always do that.
Yeah, it's not on purpose.
Oh, it's
It
on
happens.
purpose.
But yeah, this is today is July 31st, last day of July of 2019.
Goodbye, July. Goodbye,
July.
summer. Welcome.
It was so
the
long.
hot fall.
Like, Jesus, how long was July for you? Because I feel like July was like an entire year for me.
Really?
It was so long.
It went by
so
fast.
much has happened this month that I can't even keep track of all of it. But yeah, I am one of your hosts, Matt. He's Mike.
I'm Mike. He's Matt. We are
yeah.
dealing with the end of summer here.
In the summer doldrums. We were discussing kind of pre-podcast today about how it's just so slow in the world of media right now, news-wise. Not a whole lot of stuff to talk about, but what we did manage to kind of mine some gems for you. We got a couple of emeralds, some rubies, maybe a sapphire.
A couple ores there.
Some ore for you. A big load. Big load. We're bringing you our big load today, the Media Boat Podcast. Full of amazing
in all of this,
stories.
We'll have a couple gems for
maybe.
you. Oh,
So
speaking of that,
What?
I guess I'll talk about when we get to TV, though.
I mean, yes. Let's wait for TV
Let's
news.
wait for TV, though.
The TV news section.
Yeah, because I think you know what I'm talking about.
Possibly.
But we'll talk about that
We
in
should
TV.
wait on that.
But we
Because
have movies.
first, we always talk about movies, and we always start talking about movies with the weekend box office numbers.
So, does Quentin Tarantino have the #1 film this week?
He does not.
Ooh!
He does not, because Disney's juggernaut The Lion King has taken a second week at number one, sorry. Second week at #1.
He took a big #2.
Big #2 all over Quentin Tarantino. No, that's not true.
No, it's a big #2 weekend for it
Yes.
to still stay at
Number
#1. Global. Go ahead. What's the numbers on that?
The number for the weekend was $76 million. That adds to its domestic total of 351 million smackers.
Take that to its international total at $999 million.
So that thing will
literally, I think right now, as of the box office of today, it hit $1 billion, giving Disney its fourth $billion film of the year.
Fourth chronologically, because another Disney co-production hit billion that we'll get to later in this chart.
Yeah.
But then number 2, yes, was Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Made a respectable $41 million, which is probably good for its budget, I would assume.
Yeah, $30 million budget.
Yeah, so not bad. Another hit for Quentin Tarantino. No surprises there.
No surprises there.
Number 3, Spider-Man Far From Home, the movie I was referring to, got another $12 million. That's sitting at $344 million domestic. But yes, past the $1 billion worldwide mark this week.
That officially hit the $1 billion mark, which means if those Marvel rumors are true, Marvel Studios will get to produce the third Spider-Man film.
I think if you're Sony, that's a no-brainer, because these things you saw how Venom did, like these things without the Marvel power, like the Disney power behind it, it does okay, it does respectable, but isn't a juggernaut.
Right, but that's the thing, is that there's no Sony creative influence on it.
Yeah.
They just collect money on it.
Right.
So they can't put their own stamp on it.
No.
So it's not
why
really
would
theirs.
you, though? It's that becomes just a vanity thing. And
it is totally a vanity
and
thing.
Like, why bother when you
It's Vanity Fair.
It's just the Vanity Fair. The movie based on Vanity Fair coming out soon.
Yes, where someone has an affair.
A Vanity Affair.
A Vanity Affair.
You should write that movie.
Vanity
sequel to Capital Letters.
Capital Letters Vanity Affair.
Vanity Affair. Or somebody from Vanity Fair as an affair. That's it. That's the entire movie. Anyway. Number 4, Toy Story 4, coming in with another $10 million. That's just under $400 million domestic right now.
That'll probably hit 400 domestic by next weekend.
And lastly, number 5, Crawl, still hanging in there in the summer. That's how slow this summer is.
That alligator movie.
That alligator movie made another $4 million, which was high enough to get to the top 5. That's a $31 million domestic.
Yeah, but sitting just under that is still Yesterday.
Yesterday,
at number 6.
Just barely off the top 5.
Yep.
All right, those are your top 5 movies. What are you seeing this weekend?
I don't know what I'm seeing, but here are the new releases.
It's just one.
Yes.
Because everything else got out of the way.
Oh.
Or, again, slow summer. Hobbs and or Shaw, which, of course, is the... Hobbs and Shaw.
I believe we have to say that it's full title, though, which is Fast and Furious Presents Hobbs and Shaw.
So, Hobbs and Shaw is the spin-off.
The Dwayne Johnson, Jason Statham spin-off
of
movie.
The Fast and Furious franchise.
Yes.
I've already seen some early reviews. It seems completely ludicrous, but exactly what you want for this kind of movie.
Which is funny, because I don't think Ludacris is in this film.
No, surprisingly enough, no Ludacris, but it is more ludicrous without him. So
yeah, I saw one review. Wow, I saw one review that said this film makes the Marvel comic books look logical by these aspects. By comparison.
I saw the same quote, actually. We must have been looking in the same place.
Probably.
But yeah, that's really funny. So yeah, that's your one new release. We may or may not see it before next week.
I will see it at some point. It is part of my Drunken Sundays.
Okay.
Well, a Drunken Sunday.
You will get drunk and you will see this movie.
Yes, because this film...
It's a fine tradition, yes.
Yes. Because for these type of films, you need to be drunk in order to watch it.
I don't know if need is maybe a
strong word. Need is definitely a strong word.
I would say that it accentuates the already ridiculousness of the movie. It makes you more willing to just have the movie take you on a ride.
Well, seeing as I did this with Fate of the Furious...
Yeah, then it makes sense to do it.
It makes sense to do it again.
Anyway, that's your one release, so nothing else is coming out.
Nope.
You have to wait until next week before all the rest of the movies come out.
And boy, do the rest of the movies come out.
I mean 5, so get ready for next week if you want to see some movies.
It's the rest of the summer dump.
But yeah, that's it for new releases, which means we now get to talk about a thought, because you saw one of these movies.
Yes. So I have seen The Lion King.
But also,
you
have a new movie to talk about.
Yes, I saw the number 2 film this week, which is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
So tell me a story.
Directed by Quentin Tarantino.
Tell me a story. What happened Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
So, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, there was a murder.
Murder?
Murder
most foul?
Yes.
Okay.
It was running most foul.
Because I'm sick of regular murder. I only want murder most foul.
Well, I'm also sick of murder most beef. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway. Is this good?
It depends.
Great. Awesome.
Because when I first saw it, each individual scene is good. Okay. I like what he does with each individual scene.
All right.
As a whole, I kind of question it.
Okay, so let me take a wild guess here. So I have purposefully not read any reviews of this film. I have not read any coverage. I've completely kept myself away from anything. However, I have seen Quentin Tarantino movies.
Yes.
So here's what I assume this movie is. This movie is very, very, very loosely based on real events involving these real characters. It's very stylized. It has weird, drawn-out periods of dialogue. It has well-placed music from the era in which it takes place. And it wants so badly to be something you would have seen in a drive-in in 1971.
Close.
Okay.
You're about 80% there.
80% there. Okay, what am I missing? What are the pieces of this thing I'm missing?
The whole historical accuracy thing.
Mm-hmm.
As we've noted on this podcast before, that this film is supposed to surround itself with the Manson murders with Sharon Tate in Hollywood.
Right, yes.
That doesn't happen until like the third act that any of it actually comes to fruition. That doesn't
surprise me, because he does like to take a long time for setup.
Yeah, but that's also the thing about this film is that if you're not in it for the Hollywood nostalgia, if you're not in it for the Act 2, which Act 2 has double meaning here because it's not only the actors trying to find their second act, but the bulk of this film takes place squarely in Act 2 of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But yeah, it's about trying to find your Act 2, but then also trying to be more than what the idealized Hollywood turn of the millennia, century, half century? Turn of the Golden Age. Dying of a genre?
I don't know. It's weird because it's like the 60s were such a turning point in culture, but there's no real easy phrase because they didn't happen like mid-century either. So it's like this weird, like, I don't know what you call it.
Well, that's what I'm trying to get at. Is that?
But yeah,
it's
the
like
60s.
Let's
call it the 60s.
The end of the 60s turning into
the 70s.
The 70s.
Yeah, the summer of love.
Yes, the hippie culture, as they aforementioned it plenty of times in the movie. But yeah, it delves into some weird stuff. It definitely plays with the Hollywood version of an actor's dream and the Hollywood version of Hollywood's dream, but while at the same time, the Hollywood version of what actually happened in Hollywood.
Right, yeah. It in itself is Hollywood telling you a story of people who interacted with Hollywood and had varying views of what that was.
Right.
Yeah.
But the main characters in this film, I can't decide if it's Leonardo DiCaprio's story or if it's Brad Pitt's story.
That might be on purpose. Because it seems like when you get both of them, you want to give them equal screen time.
Well, I think they do actually get equal screen time.
Yeah.
But they're past that they go about this single day, which, by the way, this whole thing takes place over 3 days. You have the opening act, which is 1 day, or technically half a day.
Is it really split by act?
No, it doesn't say, like, Act 1, Act 2. It doesn't say, but it just, the days start by, like, a title that says, this date. But yeah, you have the first act, which happens on one day. Then the second act, which takes place on the second day. And the third act takes place on the third day.
Okay.
But the majority of it takes place in Act 2, which takes place over one seemingly extra long day.
Okay.
Like, it's weird because, like, wow, they actually did a lot in this one day. Like, did they really do this much? Or is it just your Hollywoodized version of Hollywood Dreamland? This is what you can do in a day.
At a certain point, yeah, you have to then just
suspend your reality.
You have to completely subscribe to the this is a movie part of this whole thing.
But no, I liked what it did with it. Played with a lot of stuff, like especially I think if I had known more history about the Manson murders, it would have hit me more.
Yeah.
Like knowing what's going to happen,
context.
just having some context of what's going on, or like who they're interacting with.
Because for our generation, that's a very, very far off cultural touchstone. We know very vaguely about it. We didn't live through it.
Right.
Our parents barely lived through it. For our age group.
Yeah.
And so it's like it's not a super like well-known thing for us. So
even though there is a lot of like media out there, especially in current day, where you can go and find some of this.
In fact, that's a good point. I was actually just going to bring that up. Although we are a generation that is uniquely obsessed with murder, to the point where we have like several popular podcast series and television shows that are explicitly about famous murders, especially famous murders in culture, like pop culture murders, like such as the Charlie Manson stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually, and this also comes shortly after Charlie Manson's like death, so and all that insanity. So yeah.
Well, we're also coming up on the 50th.
Yeah,
anniversary.
I bet we are. In fact, that might
it was 69
this year. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
I mean, not nice that there was murders, but you know.
No, I think that is the 50th anniversary of the murderers.
Definitely not the. That's not the nice part. But yeah. So anyway. So we're kind of getting muddled in the themes here.
Yeah, no, but this film was actually supposed to come out later, but it got pushed up because it would have been like around the 50th anniversary in October, so they wanted to push it up, the release date. So it didn't really like super conflict with it.
So yeah, we're getting on all of the themes in here, but what about the quality here? So you mentioned earlier that you liked like the individual scenes and like the direction of this thing you appreciated. What's missing though? Because you seemed like that was leading towards a counterpoint. A but. There's a but in this sentence.
Oh, that I liked it?
Yeah.
But. Oh no, my but was that I don't have like a personal connection to it. So that was my but. That because I know because of like schooling and stuff. I know of old Hollywood. I know of those films. I know of these actors in that era. But when it comes to the like Manson murder and how that all like fits into
less knowledgeable.
Yeah, like I know of the name, but I don't know what they did, who was involved.
Okay.
Anything like that, like how they did it, like all of that supposed knowledge.
Context notwithstanding. So you felt positively.
Yeah.
How do you think of this compared to the Tarantino over?
It felt like it wasn't a Tarantino film until the third act when you realized, oh, I should probably make this a Tarantino film and throw in some over the top violence and like social commentary.
Fair enough. I mean,
which is I can't really say that because the social commentary was thrown throughout the film, and it wasn't even subtle either. It was definitely like nail on the head. Oh, this is what you're supposed to get. This is clearly two actors debating something that I want to specifically talk about.
If there is one thing I do not expect in a Quentin Tarantino movie, it is subtlety. So yeah, not surprised at all by that.
No, but he does kind of play with expectations, especially with sound and music and ambiance and all that.
Sure, yeah.
But it's great.
What you're getting at.
Beware of the feet. There are a lot of feet.
There's a lot of feet.
Yeah, a lot of 70s feet.
He loves feet.
Yeah, but we don't get clean feet now. We get dirty feet. We get calloused feet.
You know what? I'm sure he loves feet of all levels of dirtiness.
Maybe you get see Margot Robbie's feet if that's something.
If that's something you want,
that's something you want.
That movie has that. I mean, you already got her a bubble bath in Scorsese films. Now you get her feet in a Tarantino movie.
Yeah.
There you go. Anyway, so anything else you want to say about this movie? Do you want to rank it on our scale?
Rank it? I think for a casual movie audience, stream it.
Really?
Yeah. It's hard for me to recommend
it.
You
seem hesitant, even though I keep asking you to say negative things and you're not saying them.
Well, see, my negative thing would be that if you're either not into that old Hollywood era thing, or you're not into like
that's
the Manson
this entire movie, though. That's the hook.
Right.
Beyond Tarantino's name, of course. I mean,
right.
That's the hook. That's the way it's been marketed. Is like, here's a movie about old Hollywood.
Right. And I feel like if you're not into that, it's not going to be for you. Like a lot of the nuanced stuff that he does in the film, which, by the way, it is still shot on film because he's a purist.
Because he's crazy.
Right.
Sorry, yes, because he's a purist, yes. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah. Right. But, yeah, no, you definitely, like, see the aspect ratio shift all over the place between the 35mm film, the 48mm film, and then back to wide.
Yeah.
But unless you're, like, not going to appreciate that, or appreciate the little nods and subtle stuff that's going on, I'd still say see it. No, I'm changing my review.
Okay.
I'd say go see it because the acting in this thing is phenomenal. I loved what's his name? Quentin Tarantino's direction. Yeah. Not in the film. Wait, is he in the film?
Is he in the film?
I don't remember. That's a good question.
Does he have a cameo?
I don't remember if he has a cameo.
He does often have cameos in his own movies.
Yeah, maybe he does. I don't know. I didn't look at the credits real closely. But no. Brad Pitt's acting in this is amazing. Leonardo DiCaprio's acting in this thing is amazing. They're clearly the leads in this thing, and they show off their strengths throughout the film. I'd see it just for them in their acting ability. It'd be weird. It wouldn't be weird if they were both up for Golden Globe nominations. For leading actor.
At least Golden Globes?
Yeah, at least Golden Globes. Because I think by the time the Academy goes to voting for it...
I was just thinking about that, and you know what? Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if this is in the Oscar running.
No. It hits all the things of old Hollywood.
Yeah,
something historical.
And I feel like more people are talking
great
about this thing. More people are talking about this thing than the last handful of Tarantino movies since Inglourious Basterds?
Well, I feel like Inglourious Basterds was 6 or 7.
Yeah, I feel like the last.
It was 6 because then it was Django, and then it was the Hateful Eight.
I feel like Inglourious Basterds and Django were the last times people cared.
You mean Quentin Tarantino and Brad Pitt in the movie?
Exactly. And so, like, I feel like people care again.
Yeah.
And so I think that alone, the amount of talk that this thing is getting, I think you'll see it. I think you'll see it in February.
I think you'll definitely see some nods for this film.
Remember the Oscars?
Remember they moved it up to February.
Oh, that's right. February is correct. I'm right the first time.
Yep, they moved it up.
So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
But yeah,
we may have. So there you go. We may have already seen our first Oscar film nominated film this year. So there you
go. Maybe. Yeah, I can see. Yeah, I mean, out of 9 slots, I'm sure I could fill one of them.
It could fill one of them.
I'm trying to think of like other stuff besides acting.
10 slots. If they
use all 10. They have all 10 to use.
You need to remind the Academy that they have
just keep poking with a 10-inch pole. Remember them? Hey, 10 inches. 10 non pole.
Maybe don't do that.
No?
Don't poke them at 10 inches. Anyway.
That's awkward.
Anything else you want to say about this before we move on?
The third act, I was laughing nonstop at it.
Okay.
I think that's kind of on par.
That's what you
kind of want for a Tarantino film. Yeah. But, yeah, no. It's very Hollywoodized. There's definitely some motifs running through it about second acts, about aging characters, about old Hollywood, about trying to find the new thing, about trying to evolve past what media wants you to be into what media needs you to be, evolving as an actor, evolving as a director, evolving as a society out of the 60s into the 70s into the new era.
Yeah. Themes.
Oh, there's a lot of themes in this film. That's why that's why it's hard for me to pull negative stuff out of it, because it's such a good film. There's a lot going on in this film that after you see it, after you kind of think about it and kind of break it down, there's a lot in this film that make it good. Like, because upon my initial watch, I was like, there's a lot of good scenes in this film that I like individually as a scene, but I don't know how it feels as a whole. But the more I thought about it, the more I was like, okay, as a whole, I kind of understand it now.
Yeah.
Maybe it requires a second watch to understand it as a whole, but I understood everything it was going for, all the motifs, all the themes it was trying to hit, and it definitely hit them. I definitely got what he was trying to sell here, besides, a pretty good film. But go see it.
Okay, cool. All right, let's move on then into movie news.
Oh, we have movie news.
We have movie news. That's news about movies.
All right.
First up, we go over from Hollywood. We go next door to Paramount Pictures.
Oh, it's still Hollywood.
It's basically. Meanwhile, in Paramount Pictures, they have ended a creative relationship with Robert Evans by no longer renewing his production contract. That deal has been consistently renewed for over 45 years.
Oh, wow.
But
That's
recently
a long
expired, and his company will be dissolved into Paramount. In case you're wondering who this dude is.
Who is Mr. Evans?
Robert Evans shepherded some of the most memorable titles to come from Paramount or any studio, including Roman Polanski's Rosemary Baby.
Which was featured, or at least mentioned consistently in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I bet. Francis Ford Coppola's The Godfather and Arthur Hiller's Love Story. The 89-year-old has not made a film since the 2003 rom-com How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, going off on Austria.
That's a classic there, actually.
Yeah, which was distributed by Paramount. So this is classic slow week news.
Yeah.
Where it's like, this is interesting. It's just like an interesting thing.
Well, it's interesting that since 2003, he's been consistently on, or his studio has been consistently on Paramount's payroll. And just, you haven't made a film in 15 years. Are you planning on making a film? Or are you just going to, basically soon to retire?
Be there as a vanity kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because we've always done this.
Right.
I've always worked here kind of thing.
Well, it is, because one of the theaters on Paramount's lot is actually named after him.
Okay.
So it's not like he
came out of nowhere.
It's not like he's going anywhere or his legacy's going anywhere.
No.
All the films he produced are going into the Paramount catalog.
Right.
He has the name on one of the theaters. He's clearly an established legacy. It's just, why pay for something that's not going to be receiving dividends anymore?
Yeah.
Financial decisions, but then again, at 89 years old.
Yeah, he's old.
Yeah.
He's old.
A little bit old. A little bit on the older side.
Yeah.
A little bit of a seasoned vet.
Speaking of seasoned veterans, Regal Theaters, which has been a seasoned big company in the theater business.
One of the top 3 chains in the United States.
Yeah. You might know of one near you. But they have made news this week by announcing their own MoviePass-esque plan.
So we knew this was happening, especially since AMC announced their plan. It was only a matter of time for Regal to announce their own plan.
So what are they doing? Well, they have a 3-tier
tiramisu
plan here. Yeah, 3-tier tiramisu.
Okay.
Starting at the low price, laughing, $18 a month. You can choose from 200 select theaters nationwide. You can find your local theater on their website. If you're not so lucky, you can go to up a tier to access an additional 200 theaters for $21 a month. So the $18 a month is only available for a certain
select 200 theaters.
Theaters, you have to go to the $21 a month plan if you want probably your local theater, depending on what market you're in.
Or if you can't find it in either of those,
you'll have to sign up for the Regal Unlimited All Access tier for $23.50 a month.
To be fair, that sounds a lot, but by comparison, AMC's A-list stubs is $23.95 a month for all AMC theaters.
Yeah, you gotta take that 45 cents, take it to the bank.
But if you have both, I mean, that's technically $50. But also, Why would you have both unless you're very unchoosy of
live in a place
what
theaters.
What theater you want?
The benefits of signing up include 10% off concessions, free large popcorn and soda on your birthday, and you earn credits for Regal Crown Club.
I think you were right, though.
Not to be confused with Regal Clown Club, which is a completely different institution.
Right, that's the Academy.
Yeah. The plans include no blackout dates on all showings. That's nice.
Yeah.
And up to 3 advanced screenings and multiple viewings of a film. So that's kind of nice. Is that they're kind of doing the things that MoviePass didn't do, or at least later didn't do.
Right. Well, because with MoviePass, it was you have to get it the day up. You had to be within 100 feet of the theater.
And you couldn't see the movie more than once.
Right. You can see the movie more than once.
Yeah.
With this one, similar to AMC's, is you can get you can reserve up to 3 passes, but those 3 passes are just for regular theaters. If there's, say, a special screening coming up of like a family event or something and you want to attend, or a preview screening and you want to go to that film will not count towards your 3 that you've already reserved.
I'm thinking about this now because I'm like, I do work right next to a movie theater.
I looked that up. You have to pay for the $23.50.
No!
I looked it up.
But it's like one of the most... Or is that why?
That's why.
Because it's one of the most money-making ones.
Because it's one of the most money-making ones. Because it has an IMAX theater. Because it has select seating.
That's the worst.
Yeah, which is funny because the one next to my parents' house is the second tier.
Okay. Man,
so even they would still have to get the second.
You have to go to get the $18 one.
Yeah. Also with this one, it's through the app, so there is no card they mail out. There's nothing you have to sign up for.
That's smart.
Yeah, but in order to get around the idea of people sharing the same account information across multiple phones, they make you take a picture when you sign up. So only you can access it. And when you go to scan your tickets, they'll have the picture pop up. And if it's not you, you'll get
profile.
You may get denied depending on the usher. Most likely you will, but you can also get banned from the app if you get reported.
What if you get Usher?
Usher as your picture?
Will he let you in?
Yeah.
Weird side note. This isn't music. But I heard on NPR the other morning that apparently Usher is being accused by several of his ex-girlfriends that he gave them herpes. I'm only mentioning this because the way that NPR delivered the story was hilarious. When they introduced it, they said that what was the first joke? The second, they made 2 Usher jokes about this, which I was like, this is...
The first one that he made love in the club?
No, the first joke was Usher has something to add to his confessions. And then when they tossed it to the reporter for the story, the reporter opened by saying, Usher's got it bad. I'm like, I love this so much.
Oh, well, at least they're having fun with it.
At least they're having fun with it. Sorry, that's a tangent. Anyway.
Hey, that's what we come here for. Tangents.
That's why I am here. Why not? Anyway, so that's it for movie news then.
If you want to sign up for Regal Unlimited Movie Pass, you can sign up directly through their app. Yeah. If you don't, you can still use your Crown Regal rewards.
Your Clown Club?
On the same, your Clown Club.
Regal Clown Clubs?
Via the same portal.
Yeah.
But I have to note this. They recently changed those policy of the Regal Clown Club. The Regal Crown Club.
Yes. You have to be wearing your red nose at all times.
No.
You take it off.
It's that your points expire.
Yes, you found this out the hard way.
I found this out the hard way. Because apparently I used to have 106,000 points, which got deducted to 26,000. I was like, what? I started scrolling wait, did I accidentally purchase something and not spend it on something?
No, they just go away.
They just vanish after 6 months. They just go away. Unused points just go away. They no longer have to accumulate.
Yeah.
Which sucks. So I had 5 free movie tickets on there.
Well, all I can say is, how dare they put something in the terms of service that you didn't read?
Well, no, because they added this afterwards when you
Exactly.
automatically update.
Yeah, they have to tell you though if that changes.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, I no longer
How dare
I no longer go to a Regal theater on a consistent basis anymore.
It doesn't really matter.
So it doesn't affect me. But all those points,
Yeah.
all those free tickets,
They don't matter.
I'm so disappointed.
Okay, moving on that note. Sure. That's it for movie news, and that moves us into
Television.
the wonderful world of television.
And we start with
Where
sports.
we start the wonderful world of sports.
All right, it's sports time. Today,
Today.
the July 31st. Actually, as of like 4 hours ago, the MLB deadline ended.
Yeah. Trade deadline.
Trade deadline.
Yeah, if you were making trades and you were the owner of a Major League Baseball franchise, well, you had to do it by today. So
Oh, there was a 3-team trade yesterday.
I heard, yes.
It was excellent.
Seems like some pretty crazy stuff. Some trades did happen, some trades didn't happen, from
Yes.
what I understand.
Yep. But the team you have, now the team you stuck with, at least for the rest of the
There
season.
you go. You're stuck. Deal with it.
Make it to the series on your team right now.
Elsewhere in sports, football. It's kind of back. The Hall of Fame game will be Thursday. That's tomorrow. With the Broncos versus Falcons.
Yes, the game will be broadcast on NBC in prime time. Well, 5 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock
5 o'clock prime time.
Pacific,
Yes,
which is 8 o'clock Eastern.
correct. But they play in Canton, Ohio, so it would technically be 6 o'clock game time.
Yeah, but whatever. Who lives there? I don't know.
Or 7 o'clock game time.
Something flyover states. No, I kid. We love the Midwest.
Yes.
Don't
Also-
write angry letters to us.
Also-
we don't get any letters here, so please.
Send us a letter to
MediaBoatPodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, you wanted that plug.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
a little plug. Yeah, cool.
But no, as of today, as of starting tomorrow, we will have 27 straight weeks of football, or something related to
Something
football
like that.
of NFL. And football season is now upon us. Hallelujah, rejoice.
Yeah.
Make it rain money, like Michael Thomas. Has he got paid today? I saw this breaking news this morning. Not in the news, though. But Michael Thomas, wide receiver of the New Orleans Saints, is now the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL.
Wow.
At 5 years, $100 million.
That's some big money.
Yes. However, other notable holdouts that are currently not playing, or at least not practicing, because they need a new deal, include one of the top running backs in the NFL, Ezekiel Elliott, who is currently in Mexico.
Okay.
He's training in Cabo San Lucas.
Sure, why not?
And not with the Cowboys.
Of course, this is not directly related to what you're talking about here, but we would be remiss at the Media Boat Podcast not to talk about one of our favorite football players, as he had a milestone himself this week.
I believe we talked about it last week, did we?
No, we did not.
Oh.
We talked about it off the podcast.
Oh, I meant to bring it up, but we didn't talk
We
about it.
should have brought this up last week, but yes, our very own Mark Sanchez,
Mr. Buff Fumble himself.
Orange County's finest.
I
has
believe he
retired.
was a candidate for Gatorade Player of the Year.
Something like that.
Former USC quarterback.
Former Mission Viejo Diablo, who took us to CIF 2 years in a row. I saw it. It happened.
You said hi to him in passing.
I said hi to him in passing. One of my friends was friends with him, so I was a degree away from Mark Sanchez. Just 1 degree. Anyway, but yeah, one of our favorites here at the Media
Yes.
Boat. We named a feature for Madden 17?
Yeah.
Madden 17. We named a feature after him, the Sanchez.
Yes, the franchise. We did the franchise modes.
So yeah, he's beloved here.
May
He
have a
will no longer
franchise
be
mode
playing
again.
Football.
We may have a franchise mode again.
Yeah, maybe.
Like it's about video games.
But he's not in video games anymore because he's not in football anymore. Here's the
Maybe.
point of this story.
Yes.
He is retiring from the game.
Yes, but because he did make it 10 years in the NFL and won a Super Bowl, asterisk there, he was the backup. Technically, he beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
Not personally, but yes.
Technically, he won his Super Bowl ring against
Right.
Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
Technically speaking, yes.
Technically speaking,
Technically.
he is better than Tom Brady in that aspect. For that year.
For that moment.
For that year. For a moment. He was able to run up into Tom Brady's face and say, "Yeah, winner, loser."
I don't think he did that.
I need that photo somewhere.
But the silver lining to all this, though, is that there was some evidence of him in recording booths practicing broadcasting. So fingers crossed, people.
Yes.
I am ready for some Mark Sanchez color commentary. I'm ready.
This would be great.
Give it to me.
He'll probably appear on NFL Network as a color commentator.
NFL Network, I bet. Yeah, he won't end up on any of the major networks.
Well, Derek Carr's on NFL Network and does commentary.
Yeah.
For the Raiders this past weekend.
That's good.
It's for spring training camp, or for what is it? It's mini camp. It's technically the season, preseason.
Yeah.
But yeah, Derek Carr was at the Raiders training camp, and they interviewed him with his brother.
Nice.
David Carr or Derek Carr.
Yeah.
That's
good.
Great.
That's good. All right, we need to stop talking about sports.
But yeah, but the reason we brought this up is because
the
reason is because Mark Sanchez hit 10 years playing in the NFL.
Right.
He automatically gets the NFL pension.
Yes.
That's how you get it. You have to play 10 years in the NFL.
And you do it.
And as soon as you hit 10 years, you can retire and get the NFL pension.
I don't know. People like to make fun of him, but I think he figured it out. He figured out a way of he tried. He did his best. It wasn't good enough. He got benched. And he still made millions of dollars.
To be fair, he made it 10 years in the NFL.
He made it to the playoffs his first season professionally. Let's not
as much as with
the butt fumble. Yeah, of course that was funny, and of course yes, there was some evidence of maybe him not living up to expectations. But still, though, on paper, the guy played some mean games of football, and he made his money. He did his time.
Well, he played 10 years in the NFL.
Yeah,
which is more than what you can say for half the players who enter the NFL.
Right. So yeah, I don't know how the history books will treat him, and at the end of the day, but. Of course, he won't be Hall of Fame, one of the Hall of Fame greats.
No, he's not going to Canton, Ohio. The closest he'll get there is probably as a commentator or saying some nice stuff to some other person.
He'll be there in the audience.
Yeah.
But no, needless to say, not a Hall of Fame player.
No, but 10 years in the NFL is so impressive.
This is our Media Boat podcast salute to Mark Sanchez's career.
Wait, is it salute or is it salute?
It's salute. All right, we can't really do a butt fumble on camera.
I know.
Anyway, anything else before we move on out of sports here?
I guess we should move out of sports. A couple more people are still holding out of training camp, but like I said, Ezekiel Elliott is the big one because he will probably go number one in most people's fantasy drafts. Meaning, he may be this year's Le'Veon Bell.
Oh no!
So if you're going to draft early, be careful about that.
Be careful.
Or draft him and then trade high for your Zeke when everyone says he's going to come back and then obviously doesn't.
Buy low, trade high. That's what they tell. That's what they tell you to do, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it for sports, which means we move on to television news proper.
All right.
Some proper television news.
And we start off with the world of anime.
And proper, we should say, as means this time catch up, because we have to catch up on a big story in television animation that we missed a couple weeks back. Last Wednesday, specifically, a week back. Wednesday, the Kyoto Animation Studio in Japan caught fire in an arson attempt that sent the studio into a panic. The fire burned down the 3-story studio, leaving little in its wake, resulting in 35 deaths. 1 week later, the damage was assessed, and fortunately, as of this week, the studio was able to collect data from a server on the ground floor. They were not damaged by being in a room covered with concrete on all sides, and were not affected by water from the firefighting efforts. So keep your server rooms in concrete rooms, please.
Or on the base floor, away from potential fires.
The servers contain all backups and digitized original images, thank God. On a more positive note, the studio has received $5.7 million in donations and will use the money to repair the studio and help victims' families. So this is, obviously...
This is a terrible arson
attempt. And,
I was reading up on the article about who the arsonist was. Apparently, according to the police, he's not in apprehension yet, but they have a suspect in mind who submitted some artwork to the company, and the company didn't take their artwork really lightly. But it's art.
Yeah.
But yeah, decided to
a disgruntled fan.
Take rage against the studio.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know who Kyoto Studio is, that's fine. They don't.
Do you know what I don't actually know what shows they're credited with. What does the studio do? Any notable anime that you can name?
Notable animes that they owe the IP of? No.
No.
However, before they started running their own IPs, they were known as the second studio for a lot of the major animation studios, including Gundam Seed, a lot of the Gundam animation studios, Dragon Ball Z, and the original Dragon Ball as well, and Sailor Moon. They were the studio that, when they wanted to outsource work, they sent it to Kyoto Studios to do.
So they don't necessarily run their own shows.
Well, they do now.
They do now.
I don't know off the top of my head of the stuff they do now, but before they got that big, they were always the backup, which is why they have all the support thrown out towards them.
Oh, got it. All right. Well, yeah. So obviously, our hearts go out to everybody in the animation world that was affected by this attempt, and we hope that those donations help you out, and that the future of the studio looks to be on the way back up as they're able to recover a lot of that work. And
the fact that they're able to cover Masters in a fire is a great thing, especially since we know how Universal decided not to recover their Masters out of a fire.
For sure. All right, let's move out of Japan and move back here into the States, where a couple of creators are looking for a new home.
Well, they've been kicked out of... Well, not kicked out of...
Let's say their lease is up over at HBO. Weiss and Benioff, of course, your creators behind Game of Thrones, the HBO show that ended earlier this year, are seeking a new deal with a major studio that will earn them up to $300 million.
Yeah, they're looking for a nice pretty penny for basically saying, hey, we did all this work for Game of Thrones. It currently has the most Emmy noms for a season.
You want us? You gotta pay up.
Pay the premium.
So the duo is looking to focus on building up their own production company, and any deal with them would likely have to include overhead costs to set up their own production company. So that's why that number is so high, because they don't only want a deal, they want a studio.
Yep.
Yeah. So the current frontrunners, should be no surprise to you, are Amazon, Netflix, and Disney.
You mean the people who actually have money?
The people who have money.
Who actually have $300 million to spend on a
Really, we're talking about Amazon and Disney here.
Well, no, technically Amazon is the front runner until this past week where Netflix and Disney both got involved.
Interesting. So they all have cash available to meet their high demand. Their asking price is based off of Westworld creators Lisa Joy and Jonah Nolan, and what they signed with Amazon in April for $30 million for a 5-year contract on top of their deal with Warner Brothers for 3 more seasons with Westworld.
Right. So that's basically...
Those two deals combined.
Those 2 deals combined equal about $200 million. Yeah. 30 over 5 is 150, plus the 50 for the 3 seasons is $200 million.
So these guys...
They say they're better than that.
Yeah, these guys are looking at that and be like, you're Westworld, we're Game of Thrones.
Right. They only have 1 season of Westworld. Technically 2 now. But we have 6 seasons of Game of Thrones and all these Emmys.
Yeah, look at all our Emmys.
Look at my mantle. I have 3 for all the Emmys.
Yeah. Just woke up in the middle of the night, came home with all these Emmys, woke up.
Call me Ace, because I have all this hardware.
That's pretty good. Even when they do make a deal, they are already committed to writing a Star Wars trilogy for Disney, which the first film has been tentatively set for December 16th, 2022. It is unclear if this is their own project or in conjunction with Rian Johnson's reported trilogy for Star Wars.
Also put a huge asterisk here.
Yes.
As
we don't know.
We don't know if they will even hold that date. As Kathleen Kennedy has said, Star Wars will definitely take a hiatus after Episode 9 comes out later this year. Right. Which, it'd be 4 years? So, maybe?
3 years.
3 years? 2022?
2022.
Yeah, it'd be 3-year hiatus.
It's not long enough, I don't think.
I don't think it's long enough. Plus, unsure if that will turn itself into its own TV show for Disney Plus, or if they want to keep it as a movie and show it for Disney Plus, or put it in theaters.
Yeah, I don't know.
We don't know. A lot of that is up in the air currently. Contracts of that details are hushed, sealed, under wraps.
Yep, under wraps. Disney Channel original movie under wraps.
Thank you for that reference.
All right, we don't know what's happening, but as soon as we know, we will let you guys know as well.
Yeah, but they're looking for a pretty penny payday.
So we'll see.
All right. Yeah. So the reason they want to do this is because they want their own creativity. They want their own control.
Right.
They just want the studio to finance it and put it out.
Yeah.
But they, as soon as they get the deal, they still want to maintain full control, series creative control on whatever it is they do.
Right.
Which could be good or bad depending on what you want to say about that.
It depends on what era of Game of Thrones you liked.
Yep.
Anyway, let's move on out of television news then, because that is it.
Okay.
And into some thoughts.
We have thoughts?
Did you watch some television this week?
I did. I watched part 1 and part 2 of the season finale of The Bachelorette.
And this is... why are we talking about Bachelorette on the Media Boat Podcast?
Because it's TV. Also, it's summer, and not a whole lot's going on right now.
Nothing else is on. Yes, true.
So I didn't mean to watch The Bachelorette. It's not like I watched it the whole season.
No.
But when I did watch this series, or these last 2 episodes, oh my gosh. There is so much drama in this thing.
That's the point.
I see why people are obsessed with this. Why there is the Bachelor Nation. Bachelorette Nation? Bachelor Nation. They call it Bachelor
all
Nation.
All the above.
Yeah. But just in the 2 episodes, there was so much drama going on. I was like, am I supposed to have this much drama in my life?
No.
No?
No.
No?
Ideally, no.
Ideally, no. You think no. But
for
some reason...
You cross your fingers.
All this drama was happening on these 2 episodes. I was like, just make a decision. It's not like it's going to be earth-shattering or whatever.
It is, because ultimately the decision she does have to stick with for a while.
Well, see, that's the thing I don't really get, because I guess when you go on The Bachelor, it's like you're at the point in your life where you're ready to get married, right?
In theory.
Yes, in theory?
Yeah, if you're agreeing to do it, the assumption is it does end with marriage.
Okay, because the guy she ended up picking was nowhere near that kind of level of commitment at the time. Yet, he still got down on one knee and proposed.
He did it anyways. Because you have to, because it's for TV.
Well, yeah, also when you have Neil Lane saying, "Hi, I'm Neil Lane. Here are my diamonds. Pick one."
Yeah, exactly. It's hard. Yeah, it's hard not to.
I mean, yeah, it's hard not to be sucked into it, but then you kind of realize that this is, 1, a dating show, that 2, is shot over the course of 2 months, that you're expected to fall in love with someone over 2 months, period. But season-wise, they stretch it over 3-4 months, to get those extra ratings or whatever. So it feels like, as you're watching it, you're on this grander journey, but proposing to someone after only 2 months? Is that really how it goes?
I mean,
granted, I don't watch The Bachelor or Bachelorette. I just happen to be watching it.
I don't
really have a context, but is that really how this show is supposed to go?
That's really how the show is supposed to go. It always has. The idea is it's supposed to be a fast track, and everybody knows contractually that that's the deal.
Right.
It's just for television.
Yes, I get that. That's what you're supposed to go in for, but the guy who she ended up picking apparently caused all this drama around it that got me sucked into it. Because he went on as a musician, intending to go on for his music career. Specifically.
This is hilarious because it's like you're watching a reality show for the first time. And
you have these
revelations about it.
I am watching this thing for the first time. It's like, he went on for his music career. Literally, as I was watching the part 1, I was like, wait, he's a musician? He's just here for his music career. He's not here for love. He's just here for his music career. And even when he was talking to the dad, and he was like, well, I don't have a stable job or anything because I'm a musician. So I can't really offer her anything stable. But, she's smart and loving and kind, and she's her own person. So she doesn't really need me to be stable. So I was like, okay, but you're a musician, so clearly you're here, as you just said it out of your mouth, for the music. You want here to launch your career. which came out in this part 2 where he's like, yeah, I initially came out here to launch my career, to get my name out there, to get people to notice me. And I was like, clearly. But yet she still picked you, so you still have to technically get on one knee, say you love her, fall in love, even though, literally as it came out during the show, the day before he appeared on the show, he was with another girl who he said he loved her and slept with, and then got on a plane to go to the Bachelor show.
Yes, again, the producers encourage this kind of thing.
Yes.
They want this to be on their show. Why do they think they picked him?
Well,
all of these reasons.
No. Why did he not, say any of it?
Because it's all timed for the optimum drama. That's all of this is producers trying to figure out, how can we take elements from these people's lives, blow them up on the big screen, and, put them in our show.
I know, but it's so fake, it's so much drama that, are they expecting people to, have this kind of, same revelation experience in real life? Or is it all specifically manufactured drama?
It's manufactured drama.
Because it feels like manufactured drama.
That's what it is!
Okay, so I'm not crazy.
You're not crazy!
Okay!
You're just having a normal reaction to reality television. No, it's just, you basically, as the viewer, have to tell yourself you're on this ride or not. You have to suspend your disbelief and be like, alright, I'm going to let this reality show be ridiculous and take me away. Because otherwise, you think about it too much, and you can't watch it. That's why there are people who can enjoy these shows, and there are people who can't.
Okay, but see, my extent of reality watching TV shows is currently Vanderpump Rules and Say Yes to the Dress.
Yeah. Very different kinds of things.
Well, yeah, because I can watch those.
All three very different.
Well, yeah, because I can watch those two and be like, wow, that person is super ridiculous. Who goes to 80 stores and not find a dress? Wow, that mom is being super ridiculous. Just start crying and say you love the dress.
Right.
She clearly loves the dress. Just say yes to the dress, mom. Or, wow, you're being super picky about this. Clearly there's no dress for you. Oh, wait, here it is, because it's the end of the episode. Or, no, sorry, we can't find your dress. Come back later. Or, whatever.
Yeah, all of these shows are varying levels of manipulation.
Right.
I feel like something like You Say Yes to the Dress, they don't have to do as much.
No.
Because these people are already in very emotional, vulnerable spots in their lives because they're getting married. Most people are. It's a very stressful experience.
Or it's like we're coming in to look for a dress. Just say you only have 2 months to find a dress. So we up the ante, even though you really have a year or 2 months or whatever. But yeah, it's manufactured drama.
But yeah, I'm glad you're finally in the year 2019. 19 years after the reality television explosion has happened.
Well, no, I've watched...
that you're realizing all of this.
It's all manufactured drama?
Yeah.
No, I knew it was all manufactured drama. I just didn't realize that it was so manufactured and so manipulative that got to this point.
Oh, yeah, no. It's ridiculous.
Okay.
Those shows are ridiculous.
But yeah, no, after a commercial break, I had to, ask my doctor, is this, do you want more drama like this in your life? Is this why you watch it?
No, why people watch it is because it distracts them from their own drama in their real life.
But
nobody's drama is that bad. That's the point.
But what if you have no drama?
That's the point. It's escapism.
Oh.
People are like, man, this is crazy. I'm glad this is not me.
Even though most of the time it is?
No, it's not. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. It's I'm going to watch something about somebody else's ridiculous life that they're dealing with problems I will never have to think about.
Is that why all these family shows of 7 kids, 10 kids, 16 kids?
Yes. It's not aspirational. None of this is aspirational. Nobody is sitting there being like, yeah, I want to be Kate plus 8. No.
Except teen moms.
No one wants to do that. No,
except teen moms.
No one even wants to be a teen mom. That's not an aspirational show either. All of it is, man, it's crazy that these people have ended up in these situations. I'm going to watch to see what happens because it's the phrase, it's like a train wreck that you can't look away from, it's that.
Well, that's just that. I'm used to looking away.
And that's what I was saying earlier. There are people who want that from their entertainment, and there are people who don't.
But if it's all manufactured, just write a scripted series.
That's the thing, though, is people can see through the artifice, and they want they want it to have the illusion of reality because it's more interesting.
Manufactured drama sucks.
Yeah, it's not for everybody. But
No, it's not for me.
But
watching those 2 episodes, I wanted to turn it off.
But yeah, because it's not for you. It's like, but as the last 19 years of television have proven, and entire networks like TLC and History.
Oh no, there are 4 people out there.
There is a market for
this.
There
is a huge market out there for this. The
people
fact that
people eat it up.
People still, go on The Bachelor or Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise, Bachelor Hotel, whatever spin-offs they do.
Bachelor Hotel.
Oh no, there's still people who will go on these shows, think they'll still find love, and think they'll still, but...
People will opt in. Somehow.
Yeah.
All right, we need to stop talking.
Oh
about
yeah,
this.
no, we have a lot of shows get canceled.
Yes, because we have to go into cancellations and renewals.
Oh wait, before we do that, real quick, last thought. I mentioned this at the beginning of the episode, but we were talking about gems. Did you happen to see the new trailer for Steven Universe, the movie?
I did. Yes.
What'd you think?
Cool. Yeah.
Are you okay with the time jump?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, they said that there was going to be some time jump stuff happening. So.
Yeah.
And so to do with the movie is smart. It's not too much of a time jump. It seems like not a whole lot has happened. Also, we know, well, I don't want to get into spoilers, but there are limits to how certain characters can deal with the time jump in this show.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
There are limits in the universe.
in the Steven universe.
So yeah, the trailer looked kind of cool. I like the stuff with the new villain. All of the cameos and musical and the people involved in the music. Like it's crazy all the names they got.
Oh yeah.
Like it seems really awesome. I'm looking forward to
it. Yes, that will premiere on Labor Day.
Yeah.
September 2nd.
It's coming up.
Yep. Is it in one movie or are they put it out in chunks?
It is going to be one movie. It's not being separated into episodes.
Okay.
But it is a television film.
Right.
So, yeah. That's on Cartoon Network.
Okay. And that's September 2nd. So, Steven Universe, the movie.
Also, while we're talking about Cartoon Network stuff real quick, some new OKKO episodes dropped, I think 3 or 4.
Okay.
I'm only mentioning this because they did a show literally called The Big Reveal, in which there is a big reveal. So if you're a big fan of that show, absolutely jump onto the Cartoon Network app or Hulu, however you enjoy new episodes of OKKO, or on Cartoon Network itself. And check that out because fans of the show will appreciate the big lore dump it does. And yeah, there's a couple of revelations in that episode that are major changes for the show's story.
So if I'm going to watch one episode this season, it better be the big reveal?
No, because you would have, if you hadn't watched any of the other ones, you would have no idea what was happening.
Okay.
So no, this I'm specifically saying for people who have already been following the show, which you should be because it's great. This is a big episode and a big deal.
Okay.
All right.
Well, that's a big reveal. Big deal.
Move on to cancellations, renewals.
Okay, so what am I no longer watching?
Well, let's find out. You may still be watching Younger on TV Land as it's getting renewed for a 7th season. That thing is that it has Hilary Duff and
wait, Hilary Duff's been on a TV show for 7 seasons?
For 7 seasons.
What?
And Sutton Foster, Broadway's own.
What?
Both of those, yes, they've been sitting on Younger for a while. My sister watches this show. She's
7
very good.
seasons?
Yeah, on TV Land.
Yeah.
One of TV Land's original series back when that was a big deal.
Right.
Yeah.
When Hot in Cleveland was there, still there.
Right.
And now no longer there.
No longer a show. Animal Kingdom on TNT will be renewed for a 5th season. Designated Survivor has been canceled again. I say again because it was already canceled off of ABC, now it's canceled off of Netflix where it lived for its 3rd season.
For its solo 3rd season.
So that's it. 3 seasons is it for Designated Survivor. We talked about Took and Birdie last week, so I'm going past that one.
Yep, canceled.
As Spookies on HBO will get a 2nd season. Will and Grace will have an 11th season. That's a part of its reboot, and that will be it. That will be it.
It's upcoming 11th.
Yeah, it's upcoming 11th season will be its last.
Yeah, that
for now.
Right, that will be in next year, 2020, when it'll be premiere, fall 2020.
Hulu has renewed The Handmaid's Tale for a 4th season. Netflix, in a weird move, especially following the Tuca and Birdie cancellation, has renewed Big Mouth, not for 1, Not for even 2, but for 3 more seasons.
So basically it's 4, 5, and 6?
Yes, it will go at least to 6 seasons. What are they doing over there, and what the hell is happening?
You know what it is? Animation unions.
Maybe. I don't know. I really hope that that's not the reason.
Oh, no, I hope it's not, but
that sucks,
that's the one thing that comes straight to my mind.
But yeah, so we do like Big Mouth, but I didn't like as much as Tuesday and Birdie.
Does this mean that they're going to have to go through high school then, right?
Maybe.
Because they're basically graduated
they
basically graduated middle school.
All right, well, high school it is.
All right, high school puberty.
Happens. Continues to happen, in fact.
Yes.
Gordon Ramsay's 24 Hours to Hell and Back will get a 3rd season on Fox.
Yay!
Now Apocalypse on Starz has been canceled after 1 season.
No
Not to
more.
be confused with Apocalypse Now.
No, those are 2 different things.
The Girlfriend Experience, also on Starz, will get a 3rd season. Carnival Row on Amazon will get a 2nd season. The Expanse on Amazon will get a 5th season. That, of course, following its sci-fi run.
Right.
Patriot, canceled after 2 seasons on Amazon. Lore, canceled after 2 seasons on Amazon. Forever, ironically, canceled after 1 season on Amazon. There will be no more Forever. Forever is over. Forever is ended.
Forever has lasted 52 days.
When will there be another season in Forever? Never.
Never.
The Romanoffs, canceled after 1 season of Amazon. Noticing a trend here. Too Old to Die Young, canceled after 1 season on Amazon. Wow, just brutal cuts.
You know why they're making all these cuts?
Why?
Well, besides having to pay for the $1 billion production of The Lord of the Rings,
yeah,
they also got to make some money for the $300 million potential deal
yeah,
for the Game of Thrones people.
So it could happen. And then, lastly, cancellations and renewals. Trinkets will have its last season, and the 2nd season will be its last on Netflix.
Yep.
That's it.
Oh, Amazon took the axe to a lot of its shows.
Really, it's just like the rainforest on which it's based.
Whoa!
Anyway,
Dark. All right, speaking of the rainforest,
we have to talk about one death. One death this week. This is a real sad one for the voice acting community. Russi Taylor, age 75, voice actor, most famous for being the voice of Minnie Mouse for Disney since 1986.
Yeah, over 30 years, the voice of Minnie Mouse.
And this goes across like the shorts that they've done. This goes for any park voice recordings. This goes for currently airing Disney Junior shows. Like pretty
video
much
game releases. Yeah.
But of course, people who aren't as familiar with Disney canon might know her for her voices she did on The Simpsons, including the characters Martin Prince and a couple others.
Yeah.
Definitely a loss. She had some really important voices in the voice acting community and animation and beyond. So yeah, she'll be missed for sure. They'll have to recast Minnie, I guess. They'll have to give Minnie.
Is this so? I know there's either the rumor or the thing where Mickey Mouse married Minnie Mouse. Is this that Mickey and Minnie Mouse? Or is that the first Mickey and Minnie Mouse?
That was earlier.
That was the first one.
Minnie.
Okay.
That's not this Minnie.
That's not this Minnie.
No.
Okay.
All right. That means we get to move on out of television and into music, and I pass this over to you.
All right.
Because we have a big week in music for a couple of reasons.
Well, we start music with the Billboard, and we start Billboard with the Hot 100, and we start the Hot 100 with
a milestone.
A new crowning champion.
Yep.
All hail the king.
He's got the horses in the back, and also the
Gucci on his mat,
etc.
Gucci cowboy hat, Wrangler on his booty.
All of this is true.
Gucci somewhere.
Yeah.
But yes, Old Town Road by Lil Nas X, 17 weeks at number 1, makes it the new all-time record for a single.
So, a couple of notes here.
All right.
So, this is only counting the Billboard Hot 100 era. Technically, Billboard was recording top singles before the Hot 100 era. However, because of the changing metrics This is the era that started in, I think, 1956.
Okay.
Mid-50s is basically what we're counting from. So yeah, the modern chart is what we're talking about here. But that's pretty much most of the pop era of music. So really, this is still that important. So yes, as we mentioned last week, this took the crown away from a two-way tie that was between Mariah Carey and Boyz II Men for One Sweet Day, and Despacito from a couple of years ago. Daddy Yankee, Luis Fonsi, etc., Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber was later added, but yes.
So this is technically credited just to Lil Nas X, but it does, by proxy, include Billy Ray Cyrus, which is interesting.
Yes.
Because it makes him also a record holder. He now is the only person, this is another weird fact, he's the only person on the Billboard charts to have both charted for 17 straight weeks for a #1 single, and also for a #1 album, way back in the 90s when he had the biggest hit ever with Achy Breaky Heart.
That charted as an album?
That was off of an album that apparently was #1 for more than 16 or 17 weeks.
Wow.
So yeah, he is now the only person to have both of those things. It's ridiculous.
Well, if you want to hear Old Town Road being played live, CMA Fest is on this Sunday at 7 o'clock on ABC.
So yeah, the biggest song
in our lifetime?
Era. So yeah.
In our current lifetime?
I mean, it'll take a lot to beat this, so it'll be interesting to see.
And this is just for #1. It's not including just top 5 in general.
And this is for straight weeks.
Right.
If, for example, something knocks him off but he comes back...
It starts them over.
But no, and that's not my point. I was saying that he can beat records for having the most weeks at #1, period, not just straight weeks.
Right.
So we'll see.
Because that's a different record.
It's a different record, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see what happens. But there's the rest of this chart too.
Yeah. #2, still sitting at #2.
Yeah.
Is there a record for most times at #2?
Because
Billie Eilish would have won it by now.
I mean, maybe she's maybe in the running for that. I think she's maybe a week out. I remember reading something like that.
But yeah, Bad Guy #2 by Billie Eilish. #3, Senorita by Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello.
Because I was right last week.
#4 is Talk by Khalid. And #5, Truth Hurts by Lizzo.
This is interesting. Another kind of asterisk here. So, Truth Hurts is not a song released in 2019. It's not even a song released in 2018. This is not a new Lizzo song. Truth Hurts is from 2017.
Okay. Why is it here?
Because it's getting radio play for the first time ever. Because of just word of mouth after Lizzo released a new album this year. And she's just getting way more talk about her than ever before.
So it's not like
an old single has resurfaced.
All right, so let's say it's not like a commercial boost. It's
part of that for sure because her music has been used in marketing in several cases this year. So yeah, she's just all over the place in 2019. 2019 is her year, and so yeah, this is proving that even if your song is a couple years old, you can still make it into the charts.
Right. Okay. Speaking of other charts, Billboard 200, your albums chart. #1 is #6. The Collaborations Project by Ed Sheeran.
Second week at #1.
#2, barely losing out on the #1 slot, is The Lion King: The Gift by Beyonce, but really various artists.
Really, it's various artists.
#3 is When We Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go by Billie Eilish. #4 is 7 EP by Lil Nas X. And #5, Revenge of the Dreamers by Dreamville and J. Cole.
Yep.
If you don't like any of those albums, we have new releases.
Oh, what am I listening to this week?
I don't know what you're listening to, but here are the new releases.
All right.
First up, we have Berlin. Yes, that Berlin with Transcendence. We also have Skillet. Yes, that Skillet.
Their name, I don't know why their name always makes me laugh, but it does.
Because it's a skillet. But they're Skillet.
Skillet.
With Victorious. We also have The Bird and the Bee.
Both of them.
With Interpreting the Masters Volume 2, a tribute to Va.
As the name implies, this is a cover album.
Yes. It's a tribute.
Yes.
We also have The Rocket Summer with Sweet Shivers which I feel like this should have come out maybe during the summer, not at the end of summer.
It's not the end of summer.
It's the end of summer.
It's the entirety of August.
That's fall.
No, no.
There's a song called "The Boys of Fall," which talks about August.
No. August is still summer.
Sure, it's still dry heat, I guess. Speaking of dry heat, we have Ty Segall with "First Taste." We also have Tyler Childers.
Do you know who this is?
No.
Okay.
But his album called "Country Squire." I may know a song, maybe.
We'll see.
But rounding out new releases is our favorite Pokemon with a new album. Volbeat.
It's Volbeat.
Not to be confused with Volbeat. It's Volbeat.
Yes, Volbeat.
This doesn't play on radio, but the Pokemon Volbeat.
A long time ago, I looked this up. The band does predate the Pokemon.
Yes, I know we did look this up.
It's weird, but yes. So the band Volbeat.
Yes, the band Volbeat with Rewind, Replay, and Rebound.
Okay.
Before you can rebind to reconnect the rechain of memories.
Reuse,
reduce, recycle, reimagining, restate it, Republican.
Alright, we're done.
Okay. We're done because we need to move on.
The music news.
Yes, with music news. And we have Katy Perry.
Oh no.
In a story not by Katy Perry, but of Katy Perry.
This was the other big music news this week because, we here at the Media Vote love a big legal tussle.
Oh, I love some legal tussles.
Well, what do we got in the Tussleville? So Katy Perry in one corner, who's in the other?
The other corner is the Christian rap artist Marcus Gray, a.k.a. Flame. Flame? Flamey.
Flabebe.
Flob.
No, that's another Pokemon. I don't know.
It's Flame.
Flabe.
Flame? Flame.
I don't know.
So, anyways, it is 2019,
It is.
which means we need to talk about Katy Perry's hit Dark Horse in 2013.
All right, what's up, Dark Horse?
I don't know what this guy has been like the past 5 years, but Dark Horse was literally everywhere and number one song everywhere. Including, when she performed it at the Super Bowl, which this guy doesn't watch apparently.
Apparently not.
Or something. But, anyways, Katy Perry's 2013 hit, Dark Horse, infringed on the song Joyful Noise by Flame. Which the jury
decided in court.
Yes, it was decided in court. The Los Angeles court found. The decision concerning the track's underlying beat followed a week-long trial in Los Angeles civil court, which included an appearance by Katy Perry herself, who testified for 35 minutes of her life she cannot get back.
No. Really.
In her testimony, Perry said that co-writers and producers, Dr. Luke, boo, and Circuit, a.k.a. Henry Walter, brought her the song's instrumental track, which suggests that the two could have included elements of Joyful Noise in the song without Katy Perry's knowledge, which is usually how things like this go. A producer comes in with a sick beat for you to lay your lyrical flows upon.
And this
Am I saying that right?
Sure, yeah. But this is a common practice. That
also, this is a practice that Common uses.
Others, like songwriters, when they're writing songs, well, of course, they'll have inspiration from other songs, and they'll bring them into the room to listen to and figure out how to spin it. It's just that they spun it a little too close, apparently, according to this jury, and the jury thought that the two tracks did sound too close to each other.
You could say they spun a little too close to the flame and got burned.
Ha! Indeed.
Yeah, they did.
They did. But you can say what you want about Dr. Luke. I mean, he's definitely had become under fire over the last few years from accusations of Kesha and other women.
Oh yeah.
Of sexual misdeeds, but also he's kind of. I've also heard that he's not exactly the most upfront songwriter either. That he is known to kind of borrow heavily from other artists. So this is not surprising in the least.
Right. It's not like this is the sample that he could call either. It's just a straight up
he didn't
rip.
credit them. If he had credited it, then this never happened.
Do you think they get credited now?
I mean,
or do you think Dark Horse basically becomes nothing?
Okay, well, here's the thing: is that usually the end of this is that if they do end up settling with the artist, they give them a bunch of money and they credit him in the song. Like, rarely does anything else happen. But that's the most common thing, is that, like, he'll get some money from the settlement, and that they'll put a credit they'll credit him in the songwriting.
All right, I think I saw somewhere like $30 million seeking for damages.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But yeah, Katy Perry had nothing to do with this, but
Supposedly.
by proxy, because it is her song.
Yeah, she's involved because she's credited as songwriter as well.
Yeah. But probably more in the actual writing and not the producing. But yeah.
And who knows? I don't want to, cast aspersions on Katy Perry's involvement in her albums. I don't know how involved she is. So that's why she probably spent 35 minutes on the stand, is because she had to go through, this is my input on this song, this is exactly what I did.
Right.
So, yeah. Interesting, nonetheless.
Oh, no, it's definitely interesting.
Yeah,
it's why I like covering these legal battles, because all these legalese things of creative media is always fun in different interpretations of judges and courts and lawyers and juries of how they see things is always a unique taste of it. All right. But speaking of uniqueness, Woodstock 50.
Oh boy! All right. Well, every generation has. I saw a good Twitter joke about this. Every generation has like their appropriate Woodstock, and appropriately for our generation, it was canceled. Anyway.
I thought I would say it was ruined, but by the old people.
Also, but yes, ruined by baby boomers.
Yes, ruined by the baby boomers.
All right, so what's happening with Woodstock 50?
Well, Woodstock officially. Woodstock 50 is officially no longer happening.
Cancelled.
Vendors and stakeholders were notified today that the festival was no longer going to happen.
Yeah.
In unfortunate news, the festival was originally scheduled for August 16th through the 18th. Needless to say, that's in like 2 weeks and not going to happen.
No, they couldn't find a venue. A bunch of people bailed.
No. Reported headliner Miley Cyrus had pulled out of this festival, joining the Rocketeers, the Lumineers, and original Woodstock 1969 performers Santana, John Sebastian, and Country Joe McDonald, all of whom have said publicly that they're not performing. Earlier headliners included Jay-Z and The Dead and Company, as well as John Fogerty, confirming that they will not be performing. So, there's no artists for a festival. Therefore, there's no festival for the artists.
Yeah, what does a festival do when no one's playing and they don't have a venue?
It becomes a food festival.
When they get canceled is the answer.
That becomes a food festival.
So yeah, no, this was a disaster from the start, and yeah, they could never figure out a way to get it to work. So yeah, of course it's not going to happen.
Well, so much for Woodstock 50.
Yeah.
Can we just do our own Woodstock 50 and play it on Spotify? You know, really, like the really 21st loud. Century we are.
Really, really loud. Yeah, exactly.
Well, we'll do our own Woodstock 50 party here. Maybe not physically here, but in our hearts we'll have a Woodstock 50 party.
In our hearts.
Where it really belongs. That way we can do all the drugs in a safe space and not somewhere out into an open field.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
We live glory days. Anyways, we have some thoughts. Not thoughts on drugs or Woodstock, but thoughts on albums.
Yeah, some albums dropped. You listened to one, I listened to the other. What did you listen to?
I listened to Fever Dream by Of Monsters and Men.
Are you sure you did, or were you, say, having a fever dream?
Well, I did have a fever, and I did have a dream.
Okay.
Neither of them, well, no, they were occurring at the same time, but all three of which did not have anything to do with me listening to Of Monsters and Men.
Okay.
Fever Dream.
Of Monsters and Men. Here's what I know about them, is that they were big in the era, at the beginning of this decade, where all those like weird folksy songs were big.
Yes.
Like frickin' the Lumineers and stuff like
Yes.
that. So are they still that?
Yeah.
Okay.
They still have the same kind of vibe influences and musical tones and aspirations of Lorde and Lana Del Rey.
Okay.
But with a really rocky Icelandic vibe to them.
Icelandic? Are they Icelandic?
Yes, they are. I'm pretty sure they are Icelandic. I think I remember, like, in their early career reading up that they are Icelandic.
All right.
I usually don't fact check myself. But it's just like one of those things that I know that they're Icelandic.
I've heard before the fact checking slows down podcasts.
It kind of does, which is why you can't do all your fact checking at the end.
Yeah.
Which, if you want to fact check us here, fact check us and send it to
mediabopodcast@gmail.com.
gmail.com. Anyways, a lot of the songs on here are like that of Lorde and Lana Del Rey, where it gets kind of poppy, but most of all, it's kind of slow, melodramatic, kind of soul-inspiring music. Kind of hits you right here in the feels.
Okay.
Makes you want to like sit down and listen to it, and not really do anything, just kind of absorb it. But there aren't any real poppy songs in here.
You're not really selling me on this thing.
No, there's not real poppy songs in this. I don't see any hits coming out of it, except for one, Wild Roses, which may or may not become the single off of this thing. But if it is, it'll be the only song off of this. It's really slow, melodramatic, and if you're into that kind of thing, check it out. Otherwise, go ahead and skip this album. And I hate, I don't hate to say it, you kind of may want to kind of dismiss Of Monsters and Men in general. Just put them squarely in this decade and leave them here in this decade.
It's tough.
It is tough, because you want to see music acts succeed, especially when they're something this different, this vibracious. But if they're unable to...
Whatever that word was.
Vibratonus.
It's getting worse.
It is.
It's evolving.
But if they're unable to sustain that kind of musical influences on themselves, or
I think
in
honestly,
the
it's
genre,
just hard to be a mainstream rock act in 2019.
kind of is.
It's a different game than it used to be. Not everybody can be Imagine Dragons.
Right. I mean, a lot of people try to be Imagine Dragons.
A lot of people try.
A lot of old bands pivot to be Imagine Dragons, as we have covered this decade.
But yeah, and like so to get a certain level of success that they probably enjoyed earlier in the decade is like, yeah, this is not how they're gonna do it.
Yeah, they're gonna stay middle tier festival to possibly lower tier.
Well, it sounds disappointing.
It is a little bit disappointing.
You know what else was disappointing?
Is it the album you listened to?
Yes.
Oh no! All right, so tell me about the big day.
So.
Oh, this is Chance the Rapper.
Yeah, I know.
Wait.
All right.
Okay.
Let's talk about this
All
thing.
right. Did you listen to this wearing your number 3 hat?
I don't have a number 3 hat, but if I did, I may have. Because going into this, I, like many people out there and many professional critics and many people that I personally know, were excited for more Chance the Rapper because he's Chance the Rapper. I mean, the kid is very endearing. He seems like he gets a real good, like a big jolt, like just his music is so joyful. Like he seems like he's such in a good mood all the time. He's recently like married. He has a kid. Like he's a big happy family man now. And like
he's done all those donations to Chicago.
Yeah, he's so philanthropic for his hometown. He is also involved in some legitimately awesome stuff. Like he's now, as the trailer we mentioned earlier for Steven Universe the movie, he's involved in some of the music for that film. And so, like, yeah, he just seems like a cool guy, maybe except for the weird, like, I defend Kanye West no matter what thing. But beyond that, and also from 2016, Coloring Book, his last mixtape was a big deal and it was great.
Right, the Coloring Book.
I think I even probably talked about it on this very podcast.
Oh, yes, you did.
The first season that we did this. And so, yeah, it's like this was going to be his major label debut. This was going to be a big deal. And he kind of dropped that out of nowhere, just maybe a month till, telling us that it even existed. And on paper, it should be a big deal because there are like 22 tracks, there's skits on this thing, and like the guest appearances are countless. Nicki Minaj is on this thing. Death Cab for Cutie?
Oh, that's
He's
weird.
on this thing? Yeah. When you hear Ben Gibbard's voice coming out of the second song of this thing, it's not a fluke. He's really there.
Huh.
Man, a lot of weird choices, a lot of guest spots. This thing looks like it should be his late registration, the Kanye West record.
Okay.
It's not. It's his views.
Oh, weird.
And what I mean by that is it's overly long, but not enjoyably so. It's bloated, it's boring in a lot of spaces, and it maybe has like 3 or 4 good songs.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's not for a lack of trying, though. Chance does show up. He does his classic flow. His voice does the gymnastics that you expect from his voice. He's got such a unique voice, and he uses it every song. But the choices that he makes production-wise aren't as strong. The guest rappers out-rap him 9 times out of 10 on this thing.
Ugh.
Nicki Minaj's verses are better than his verses twice, both times that she shows up. His brother is on a track in this thing. Chance's brother.
Yeah.
Chance's brother raps better than he does on his own song.
Now, do you think this is because Chance the Rapper has overexerted himself, or that he doesn't have the same kind of mentality or flow or writing style as he did before?
I think it's twofold. I think part one that might be the thing here is that I think he bit off more than he could chew. Previously, his releases were mixtapes, and they were treated as so. They were released for free, and they basically were like almost like stunts, because it was basically him showing off that one, he could make a mixtape matter into this decade, even though he doesn't have like all the big the big name albums that like his predecessors and his competitors do. But also that he had the talent to prove it. Like, it was a different situation. Now, there's a lot riding on this. It's a big major label debut. It's a debut album-length album. It's no longer him playing in kind of the small sandbox. This is him playing in the big yard. I think that works against it in a lot of ways, where there's a struggle, you can tell, of him struggling with the new format and the new expanse that he has to deal with, the new playing field he has to deal with. The second thing, the reason why I don't think this works, is because, man, when Coloring Book came out in 2016, we were in a completely different place as a culture than we are now in 2019. And I think that his wide-eyed, gospel-influenced, positive vibe thing doesn't play as well. If you look at the trends in rap this year, and we've talked about it on this podcast, all those number one albums I had to slog through, a recurring theme was just being mired in depression and addiction and dealing with death. It's very dark. A lot of popular music, and Billie Eilish is also a good example of this.
Right.
Popular music is in a very dark place right now.
Well, the world itself is in a very dark place.
You can also see this with Taylor Swift, and why I think one of the reasons why her singles are struggling is because she's taken the tact of, no, everything's colorful, and we're going to talk about fun things again. We got fun Taylor Swift back in a year where fun is not trendy anymore.
Well, fun has been trendy for at least 6 years now.
The exception, yeah, I know. The exception is, of course, Lil Nas X with
Old Town Road.
And the reason why that's an exception is because it's cynical. It's an ironic kind of thing. It's not necessarily it's goofy, but it's goofy with a 9 Inch Nails sample. It's still moody. It's still got that kind of affection to it, where it's not, rainbows and exploding glitter like Taylor and Chance want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
So it's such a complicated thing, and like I said, there are good songs. I think it ends really strong, and there are some really good moments that he has where you remember, oh yeah, he's Chance the Rapper. And I think that this is not the end for him. I think that I could envision him having a career where he just keeps putting these things out, and eventually we catch up to where he is. Or vice versa.
So do you think this could be in 3 years from now, we'll go look back at this album like, oh, this was actually a decent album?
There's a chance. I think there's a chance. I think that's possible because I think that if we do end up in a different space culturally, maybe there will be a piece written a few years from now saying like, hey, we all snoozed on the big day, but it matters now. And also, it may communicate to a different audience than the mainstream like music critic audience that is largely giving feedback about this. He may find a niche here. This will probably still be your number one album next week.
Okay.
Like, it's kind of like, I don't know how much of this is reading the zeitgeist and making it matter more than it does, or, like, forgetting that there's a big fan base who will eat up anything that Chance does.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's an interesting release. I found it kind of boring.
Okay.
And disappointing for how much I liked his stuff before.
Well, that's disappointing.
Fair.
But we have seen that happen where albums from the past do make a comeback.
It could happen.
It's not going to be the first time. Definitely won't be the last.
Yeah.
But all we can do is just wait and see.
Yeah, all we can do.
Right.
So, yeah, that's all that I have.
Okay, that's all that I have. I have other new music.
All right, so that means we get to move.
Yeah, Taylor Swift was on Good Morning America today, talking about something.
Okay.
Did you see it?
No.
I didn't. So we're not going to talk about it.
All right, let's move on to video game.
All right, we start video game with new releases. So, where's a couple games?
There's a couple games. One technically came out last week, but now everybody gets to play it.
Yeah, first one is Age of Wonders, Planetfall for PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Don't know what that is.
I don't know.
Second one is Madden 20. No, you're not hearing this for a second time. This is Madden 20, the physical copy.
Yeah,
being released.
Most people, aka anybody who doesn't have EA access, then this is the week you get to play Madden.
Yes, for PlayStation, Xbox, and PC.
Yeah.
I had the wonderful conversation of talking about getting EA access last Friday when Madden was released.
Yeah.
I'll talk about that when we get to thoughts,
Okay.
but we'll talk about some news. And we normally try and not talk about Fortnite.
It's ubiquitous.
Yeah, but seeing as it is currently the biggest game out there, so big in fact that they had the Fortnite World Championships this past weekend.
Yeah.
So, Epic has crowned the winners of the first Fortnite World Cup. And the big winner is Teenage Kyle Booga Gearsdorf. 16-year-old, recent millionaire.
Young.
Thrice over. That's right. He won the single largest pool of cash in the competition, taking home $3 million for winning the solo tournament on Sunday. Now, to be clear, that was the solo tournament, and he won it by technically only winning one game, but because he placed in the top 5 for 6 of the games, or like 4 of the 6 of the games, he won based off points, and he won double the points of the player in second place.
Yeah.
But the largest payout was part of a $30 million prize pool that Epic set aside for the World Cup, split between several competitors and competitions. All 100 players earned at least $50,000 just to show up. Not a bad payday to be one of the top 100 Fortnite players.
Not bad.
The duos winners, Nairo and Aqua on Team Cooler, also earned $3 million, but they split that prize. The creatives winners took over just $1.3 million each.
And that being a different mode where you can like build stuff while you shoot.
While you shoot and loot and
Exactly.
yes. But yeah, that's $3 million for playing Fortnite. ESPN had this graphic showed up compared to other winners this year.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods only won $2.5 million for winning
I
the
saw
Masters.
that, yeah.
I think Messi only earned 2.9. So he is, at 60 years old, the largest sub-dollar amount winner of a competition this year.
That's pretty crazy.
At 16.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, for all those parents saying Kids, don't play video games. They'll get nothing out of it. Suck it. Oh, also, by the way, I believe this is the PC version only of the game.
Yeah.
For all you who played console.
Or worse yet, mobile phone.
These players don't play that. They play PC version.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a way they can make sure it's all being played the same way.
Right. Well, plus for their servers.
Yeah.
But also, this $30 million prize money pales in comparison to that reported $1.5 billion influx of cash they got earlier last year that we talked about. But because World Cup of Fortnite was this past weekend, they also showed off, and technically tomorrow, on August 1st, begins Season 10 of Fortnite.
That's too many seasons, if you ask me.
Yeah, for a free game, you get 10 seasons of Fortnite. But for those of you who play, that's what you got going on there. I still don't play it.
Nope.
You don't play it.
Nope.
We are just covering it because it is technically
this was just a
the
lot
biggest
of money.
news.
It was a lot of money.
It's also the biggest news in video game this week.
Yep.
But don't be confused with the other gaming news we're going to be talking about. EA, which is the worst video game company in video game history.
Well, what's going on with them?
Well, EA has confirmed, officially confirmed, it will release a new Need for Speed title coming soon. EA said in an investors call that it plans to launch the new game before the end of March 2020, aka the end of quarter 4. Quote, "We'll be delivering many other new experiences to players throughout the remainder of this fiscal year," said EA CEO Andrew Wilson. Quote, "We'll take the wraps off our new Need for Speed game heading into Gamescom, which is coming in a few weeks. We also have plans for a Plants vs. Zombies shooter title coming to console and PC later this year. Both of those games didn't know they were actually in development on."
Yeah, but now they are.
Yeah. I like the Need for Speed franchise. They're fun games. I like their open world aspects of it. But yeah, a new Need for Speed title coming to a console near you. Also, if you're still in 2010, Plants vs. Zombies apparently needs a new boat.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? But that does it for EA. We still don't like EA. That does it for news, and we go into thoughts.
All right, so you played some football. Are you ready for some football?
I am ready to play some Madden 20, as I do not own the game yet.
Okay.
As I started to say at the beginning of this segment, I had a long and lengthy discussion about EA Access.
So you're not yet ready for
what EA Access is,
yeah.
How much it costs, and why you should not get EA Access.
And so you basically were able to talk somebody out of
paying $30
for
a month yearly for EA Access.
Good.
Because we'll just get a physical copy, because you get EA Access if you get the digital copy, you need a physical copy. We need that cover.
Yeah, why not?
But yeah, because some people do pay for it, I was able to watch some gameplay of their story mode, their face of the franchise, as they're calling it, as they're wrapping in their not only their franchise mode, but their creative player mode and their single player long shot mode, all rolled into one, where you get to be the new face of a franchise, and which means you get to possibly take your team to the Super Bowl, but most likely not, as in order to be the face of the franchise, you have to be the face of the franchise of a team that sucks.
Oh.
So far, I've looked online, and the teams they've been drafted to include the Raiders, the Dolphins, the Broncos.
The Browns?
No, not the Browns.
Not the Browns?
No, because they drafted Baker Mayfield,
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And if you're lucky enough to somehow get the number 1 overall pick, the Cardinals.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I think some teams got the Texans as well. But mostly it's been those 3 teams, which means that if you are on those teams, you have to play during the season twice, either New England Patriots and Tom Brady, Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes, or LA Rams and Jared Goff.
Oh, boy.
Which are quite arguably the 3 top teams
right
in the
now,
NFL right now. Outside of Green Bay and the New England Saints. New Orleans Saints.
Also that happened.
No. Actually, no, that also happened. Where a judge in Louisiana ordered Roger Goodell and the 3 refs to appear in a court to testify about the game.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Which I don't know what they can do about it.
Yeah,
but
probably not much.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of like a settlement or sub, but yeah, not much you can actually do about it. But that's happening. And yeah, I'll be getting Madden 20 this weekend. It comes out officially on August 2nd. I'll be picking it up, physical copy, which means I'll still have to wait an hour and a half for everything to download onto it. I'll have to clear some space. Probably say goodbye to Madden 16, because I think that one is still on it.
Yeah.
16, probably. 18, and 20.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be playing and maybe streaming some Madden this weekend. I don't know. But I will definitely be playing with it. I'll have my thoughts on Madden 20 and that face the franchise mode next week.
All right. So we'll be ready for some football.
Until next week,
yes,
let's plug away and wrap this show up.
Yeah, that's it. That's it for video games. That's it for the Media Boat podcast for this week at least. So yeah, if you liked what you heard, you can catch us every Wednesday night on YouTube. Just search youtube.com for Media Boat Podcast. You'll find our page. Like, subscribe, click that little bell. If you click it, you get notifications when we go live. Typically, it's on Wednesday nights at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. Yeah, you can catch us streaming this very show live on the internet. If you'd rather listen to it in audio anywhere you are, you can also do that. Just search Apple Podcasts or any equivalent podcast service for Media Boat Podcast, and you'll find us. Subscribe and listen. You can also find us on social media. We're at Media Boatcast on Twitter. Facebook, search Media Boat Podcast. You'll find our page, like and comment. If you go to twitch.tv/video games, do that every time.
Yep.
Twitch.tv/MediaBoat.
We should just get that. Let's get there's a channel just called Video Games.
Yeah. Don't actually go to twitch.tv/video games. I don't know what's on there.
I don't know. I think that if it's not taken, we should definitely take it.
Right? Gotta be taken.
You assume it's taken by somebody or some corporation.
Videos game. But yeah, MediaBoat/MediaBoat is where you can find us playing stuff like Madden. You can also find us on Patreon if you want to help us out with money. This costs money. Hosting a website costs money. Hosting a podcast costs money. You can help us out with money if you go to patreon.com/MediaBoat and you can download. You can donate.
Yep.
A long show.
You can download our podcast and donate $1.
Donate as little as $1. That little amount even can help us, so please consider donating and becoming a patron. You can also ask us questions via email if you'd like. We mentioned it twice already, but yes, that email address is mediabotpodcast@gmail.com. Email us there. Ask us questions, corrections, whatever you got. Anything, email us there. That'll be it for this week. Tune in next week for another episode. Goodbye and have a good one.
Goodbye. We'll be back next week with Madden cover-up and more thoughts on stuff and albums and stuff.
It was a cover-up. Bye.
All right, bye. Yes, and you can cover us up as we stream live on YouTube. Comment, talk, live. We chat right back.
It's true.
Speaking of right back, we'll be back next week.
Next week.
Right back. Okay, bye.